1 in 3 Americans have insulin resistance. The numbers are only going up from there. Hi, I'm Anastasia, and I'm a health coach and a nurse. And in today's video, we'll be talking about what is insulin resistance, how does one get insulin resistance, and how you can hopefully reverse your insulin resistance. Let's get to it. I have my notes right here, so that's why if you see me looking down here, that's why I'm looking down. Okay, so what is the definition of insulin resistance? Well, it's a cell's reduced response to the hormone insulin, right? So what happens is while you're digesting, when you eat food, right, you consume glucose. That glucose then goes to your bloodstream. In order to lower your blood sugars, or your blood glucose, more specifically, the pancreas releases the hormone insulin to help regulate your blood sugars. And then after that, the insulin takes the glucose to wherever it needs to go, like the fat, the liver, the muscles, and then they decide whether you have to use them at that moment or be stored for later as fat, right? Well, when you have insulin resistance, things can get a little chaotic. Basically, the sugars end up piling up, and your pancreas keeps making more and more insulin to help combat that. And yes, because your body does want to retain that homeostasis, it can help with extra insulin to regulate your blood sugar levels, but not for long, because your body is not supposed to work that way. So eventually your cells in the body become more resistant to the insulin, hence insulin resistance. Associated diseases with insulin resistance are non-fatty liver disease. So that's usually they'll do an ultrasound on you and check your liver and see if like excess fat around there. It's usually how they diagnose it. Metabolic syndrome. So prediabetes and type 2 diabetes is another associated disease. PCOS, obesity, and also neuropathy, which is pain in the nerves, and also even stroke. How does someone get insulin resistance? Well, some associated signs with insulin resistance that you can see on yourself even to know if you might even have insulin resistance. One being having visceral fat around your organs. So, for example, it's especially obvious when you look at someone with metabolic syndrome. They have a very exaggerated, like, apple shape, where they'll just look like an apple with like pencil arms and legs, right? They're very skinny limbs and very round, big and round torso, right? Also, you have high blood pressure. You also have acanthosis nigricans, which next time you go to the grocery store, there's people in front of you, right? Look at the back of their neck. Just don't be weird about it, okay? And you actually see, for those who might have insulin resistance, that they'll have a very like dark skin on the back of their neck, like almost black. Like looks like they didn't like wash their neck for a whole month, but something they didn't. It's just that it just means a lot of times that it's resistant. Also skin tags, and also the dark skin and skin tags usually get in the back of your neck, right around here sometimes with people with skin tags, and also your armpits. Also PCOS. We have insulin resistance, could be a precursor to PCOS. Sometimes with PCOS, that also means you have insulin resistance. And of course, a family history of insulin resistance or having type 2 diabetes. News for you, for me, for everybody. Insulin resistance is reversible, right? So some ways to make your cells more sensitive to insulin, because you don't want your cells to be more sensitive, not resistant, right? You want them to use this insulin properly. Is one, to do a diet with low sugars and low carbs, and with high fat. Why the low sugars and low carbs? Well, you want to lower your glucose, right? So you want to eat less glucose, so your blood glucose is naturally lower, right? And then you end up requiring less insulin, hence then you become more insulin sensitive with time as your insulin resistance improves and become more insulin sensitive, right? Also, with the fat, why you want to eat more fat is because, again, we said that insulin is a hormone. Hormones require, like the fats that you eat, they turn into fatty acids, and they use that to literally function. Your hormones need fat to literally do what they gotta do. Or else, the thing you can do is exercise. I know everyone's like, exercise, I don't want to do that. I know it's hard, I know it's difficult. I was there too at one point. So I will give it to you that the thing that had the most impact in helping to reverse most of my symptoms by now is diet has a bigger impact than exercise. So I would say first focus on diet, and with time eventually your body will be like, oh, we now get to exercise. You want to exercise. You feel so much better and have so much more energy because of your diet, that then it'll be easier for you to exercise. So in the beginning, if you are completely just like, no, I'm so unmotivated, I don't feel like my body hurts, everything hurts, I feel so sluggish, I feel tired, oh, I want to take a nap every 2 hours, I get it. First, just focus on the diet, and with time, eventually your body will let you know, like, hey, maybe we can kick it up a notch. Just like go to yoga class or like go on a walk. Let's go to the gym, you know? So yeah, so definitely first focus on diet, and then exercise should follow. Thirdly would be lifestyle changes, and really just changing your mindset. If you change your mindset, then that'll end up changing your life, because it'll help you be consistent. It'll help you realize that this way of eating and just living it's not just a diet, honestly, it's honestly a lifestyle. It honestly is, because this is not a one-time fix all. You don't do this like one time for like, oh, let me just like eat this way for 3 months, and then Thanksgiving, let's eat all the pies, because afterwards you will realize that maybe you shouldn't have eaten so many pies, right? And so even when I have several times fallen off the bandwagon, it just reminds me how much more I should get back on, because when I'm eating healthy, I'm eating whole foods, eating high fat foods, I feel so much happier, I feel so much better, I feel so much energy, and I just feel like a much happier Anastasia, much better version of myself. And so yeah, in conclusion, again, we answered what is insulin resistance, we talked about how people can get insulin resistance, and we also talked about how thankfully you can reverse insulin resistance. So if you enjoyed watching this video and you'd like to see more content like this in the near future, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye! Awesome.